What's good? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'm going to show you 3 different JavaScript tips and tricks which you may have not heard, or if you heard, you may learn something new. You never know. Well, what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's not wait. First is already on the screen. It's called arrow. It's about arrow functions. You may have heard about arrow functions. It's the function without the function name. It's the short function. So what's this? Well, let's check out. I have my pen. Let me grab my pen. Here's the pen. So we have a class here. See? Of which I create a new object. And this class has one nice property called pp, which is set long here. See? God, I love this pen. It's so good. Now, in the constructor, which, if you don't know, it's automatically called when a class is instantiated, like this, there's a timeout function. For why? Just don't ask. You don't have to ask so many questions. It's there, okay? Happens to be there. In this timeout function, I want to print this pp property, right? Let's see if it works. So what do I need to click? Let's do it. Uh-oh, it says my pp is undefined. Nope, that's not good. Let's take a look what happened. Here's the problem. In a timeout function, when you're in a new function scope, this is not that. It's not what you think it is. It's not the object. This doesn't refer to a class object here. This refers to the function scope here. And the function scope doesn't have a pp defined, so says it's undefined right here. How can we solve this? Well, you guessed that we're gonna use arrow functions, but is there another way? Yes, of course, I will show you another way. In the old days, when there was no arrow functions, people used to do something like, okay, there was no constants on let, okay, so I'm gonna use var, judge me. They did something like this. We reference the current object to this variable, and then use this variable name here. Let's see if this works. My pp is long. That's right, that's correct. It's working, no problems. Let's now take a look how can we solve this with arrow functions, okay? So let me delete this back and change this function into this arrow function right here. And let's execute the code again, and bing and boom, it works. Why? How is that even possible? The explanation is very simple. The arrow functions simply inherit the parent scope. That's it. So in this is this. See? Okay, where's the pen? Here, this is gonna be the main object scope. Okay, so we can refer to the pp property. And we determined that my pp is long. Okay, so this is solved. Let me clear this thing. On to the next one. This one's gonna be a bit harder, but don't you worry, I will explain everything. What's this? Sleep. No, we have this function called classic, because it's a classic function, where we want to print 3 things. This, and after that this, and after that this. And we also want to delay the print of the second and the third by 1 second, and I set the timeout for it. And what's gonna happen? Do you think it's gonna be printed in order? So, like, logically, what a newcomer would say that, well, the program is gonna print this, and then it's gonna wait 1 second and print this, and then it's gonna print this. So, first, second, third. Is it what's gonna happen? Well, kind of spoiler alert, but let's see. No! Uh-oh! Problem. Don't subscribe, leave. No, don't leave. Just wait until we resolve this, and also subscribe. Now, what happened? Why it's not stopping the thing? Well, it's very simple. The setTimeout function is not synchronous. It doesn't gonna wait 1 second here until it completes the execution. The program is gonna just go its way. The show must go on. It goes. So what happens is, where's the pen? This is printed. This is sort of gets stored to be printed later, and this one's printed. So this in the wrong order, and that's not what we want. We want to wait 1 second and then print the third thing. How can we do this without like breaking our necks? It's not a problem. See, let me change this to a new function, and let me hide this. So here's this thing Promisify. What's this? There's these things in JavaScript called promises. When you promise something, you should deliver. Okay? Promises are things in life. When someone promises something, it's not immediate. So does this JavaScript pattern. Well, you can create a promise and it delivers sometime later. Luckily, the JavaScript developers also thought of a method to wait for these promises until they are delivered and then continue. And here comes the await keyword. See, we have the same exact code, but our timeout function is wrapped around with this promise here. Okay, kind of, okay, you understand. So what happens here? I said, I want to wait for a new promise which accepts a function which happens to be an arrow function, but you already know what it is. We covered it in the previous file. Okay, you can also use a function, it doesn't matter in this case. It's not important. The thing is, we have a function which has this thing. What's this? Well, this is another function we can call later when our promise is fulfilled. And that's what happens right here. See? So I print the leave and then I call, okay, I finished, I resolved, the promise is resolved. And then await knows it's over. I can continue. If I don't put await here, then the same thing's gonna happen. So it's gonna be useless. But in this case, we can await. But as you can see, there's this thing, this ugly thing before a function. Well, because we are waiting for a promise, because we use await, we need to say that our function is synchronous. Okay, if someone wants to use it that way, he can do it. He doesn't have to glue up the execution tree. He can just make it asynchronous if he wants to. That's it. That's really simple. Now, let's take a look at it if it's working. Don't leave, subscribe. Subscribe. You need to subscribe and also like the video. Okay, 2 out of 3. Was it simple? I don't know. I think so. But I try to explain, so it's made simple. Now, I'm kind of a bit of afraid what's coming next, but I'm gonna do my best to explain to you. Okay, here comes nothing. Yeah, it's kind of different from the previous one. And what's this about? It's a file is called array-like. It's like an array. What's an array-like? You tell me. Array-likes are objects, just like arrays, but they behave. They like, oh, I'm an array. They have these traits of arrays, and you can do it with any object as you want. No, but not any, but we will do it with this object. To make matters worse, I made a little bit of whoopsie here because I thought, well, how can I explain something very simply by making it a lot harder for you to understand? But don't worry, I will talk you through it. We're gonna have fun, okay? What's this? Where's Ben? What's this? eQuery. What the heck is this? Yeah, you probably heard about jQuery. This is a bootleg jQuery we are creating. It's a very simple thing. Okay, let's put it this way. If you haven't heard of jQuery, you can Google it. But you probably did. It's a JavaScript library to select items on the DOM tree and do things to them and event listeners and all that. And also, here we have an index file because we are gonna need to do this in the browser, where I also included jQuery. Let me open the console. Here's the console. The page is opened. Let me reset it. Okay. Is it on the screen? Yes. Okay. So jQuery. Let's cover jQuery first. So in jQuery, you can do something like this. And this is gonna select all the paragraph nodes on the page. Currently, we have 4. See? We have these 4. It selected them successfully. I can open this and check out. Wait a minute. Why does this look like an array? See, it's a 0, 1, 2, 3, and it also has a length. How is this possible? It's an object and also has a prototype and all these functions attached to them. How is this even possible? Well, this is an array-like. Calling a jQuery function is gonna return us an array-like object. And with this code I have here, we are going to mimic the same behavior in all ways, okay? jQuery is far more advanced, but this is a very basic idea behind it. Okay, so eQuery, it's the bootleg jQuery. Where's the pen? So first, we have this variable where we declare our eQuery. And also this is a function. How does this become an array? You might be asking. Do not worry, functions can be instantiated with the new keyword, as you can see here. Oh my god, Ernest, I'm using classes and all that. In the old JavaScript there weren't classes, okay? There are no classes. We had to use our own ways, okay? We used functions, we used a new keyword and made a new object from it, okay? So you can make a new object from a function. What it's gonna inherit? Everything that's in the prototype. So I can say, well, I have a function and I also define the prototype for it. The prototype is basically the class name, okay? Let's just leave it at that. Well, let me clear this. To make this an array-like, we will have to do some things in the prototype. First, I'll declare the length as 0. This is very likely in most cases not mandatory, but as a safety measure, you should always do it. Okay? Let's skip the constructor for now and let's focus on these three things down here. What's this? It's all gibberish. No, it's not. It's chill, dude. Come on, wait a second. To make it more like an array, I decided to add the push and the splice method. Because arrays do have push and splice methods, right? This is to push items, this is to remove certain items, but how do we define them? It's so simple. You just say, well, I want to use the same function as the array, push. And for that, you just push is equals to array prototype push. And the same goes for splice. And the same goes for all the other methods that you want to use. You can just do the same thing. You can define your own, you can if you have special cases, but for this very basic example, this is what we do. I think that's clear. So with this, when we have a new object, you can use the push method and the splice method. And it's gonna put and remove items as we want. Clear? I hope so. Let's continue. There's this ugliness. What the heck is this? Symbol iterator. Are you mad? And why is that? Oh my god. Well, it's really don't worry. Don't worry. This is just another property, okay? This is just, we just said that we want this symbol iterator, which if present, it tells that this object is iterable. Not terrible, this is great, okay? Iterable. So we can go through it with a for loop, for example. As simple as that, we just say, okay, my iterator, I want to use for my iterator, I want to use the thing. I want to use the array prototype. Okay? So it's the same iterator as in the array prototype. I don't want to do anything fancy, okay? You can create a new iterator, you can Google it. Probably you won't gonna use it any soon, but just to be sure. Okay, now we have this cleared up. Let's continue. Constructor, what's this? Well, as in basic jQuery, okay? We pass on a selector. We're gonna do a document query selector all on this selector. And we're gonna push all the results into this. Because this is now an object, and this is now an array, and this is now an array-like object, and we can now push things to it. And we also, there is a spread operator because the query selector doesn't return an array, it returns a node list, and they are not compatible with this, we can convert it, okay? Now we can push these things here. Clear? Clear? Am I talking too much? I don't care. And finally, we return this. It's a fancy thing. We can use this to chain up functions. Maybe I will show you one example if this is not taking too long. I think we have the prototype under control. Now, here we go. Here comes the really bad. We have this function, okay? And let's take a look at the bottom first. okay, here, but not on the screen. It returns by default a new eQuery object. And you would say, okay, this one creates and invokes this. No. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, because this is where we define it, and it's gonna, first of all, call this, call itself. No, not this. I mean, it's called itself. So not this. We're not at the constructor, unfortunately. So what's happening is, if I do something like eQuery p, just like I did in my, see, where, see? When I do an eQuery p, see, it's working, but we don't yet know why. So we first of all, this is called, okay? Because this is not an instance of eQuery yet. We are in the main scope, not in an eQuery scope, okay? So first of all, it creates a new object of this. And then, where's the pen? And then we can now check, we looped one, and we check, okay, now we are an instance of jQuery. It's plagiarism. So now we are an instance of eQuery, okay? So we should now do the construction and return whatever the constructor does. So we call the constructor. And now we have all these stuff inherited. We have the constructor inherited the length, and everything is resolved. So once again, really quickly, when we call this eQuery function, first it resolves here, and then it goes back to itself. But now we did a new eQuery very nicely. And this is now an instance of eQuery, and this now calls the constructor, and this now returns, so this code is never executed again. And the loop closes. I told you, the third example is gonna be way harder than the first two. But we have it under control, and as you can see, it is working. See? And I can even do a for-off loop on it. See? Here we go. It prints out all of the nodes, even though it has prototype and all this stuff. One of the nice things of jQuery, so let me clear this. Let me do jQuery now. jQuery. Let's do this, for example, @class. Here we go, I already did. When I hit it, all the paragraphs have this YOLO class on them. It's what it is, you only live once. Can we do this? Can we actually create this? Sure we can. Let's try hasClass here, and we need to iterate through the items. So I can do like what? For const of this, because we can do it now. L class list add class name. See? Will this work? And in the end, we need to return this. This makes sure that we can chain up these functions if we want to. eQuery @class YOLO. Will it work? No, because I named it wrong, okay? @class, okay? @class, okay? Okay. Now, will it work? Yes, of course it will. See? All the items have, all the paragraphs have the YOLO class. Was it difficult? And probably there are better solutions, okay? I'm not saying this is the correct way of doing things, but it's a nice mental exercise for you, okay? You got smarter, I got smarter, everyone is smarter. I think that's the bottom line of all. And this is the end of the video. This is the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I really hope you learned something, and I really hope you had fun. I sure did. It was amazing. I hope to see you soon. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment. I really enjoy reading your comments. Okay, so just leave a comment, leave your opinion. Say, Ernest, are you dumb? Why did you do this and that? You can tell me, or you can say, wow, I learned something. It's always good to hear. So take care and goodbye.